Hello, Ian Cooper here from Boats on Wheels. I'm in sunny Swanwick on the Hamble River in Hampshire. I'm here to take a look at the Viko S21 demonstrator, which is up for sale right now. This little boat is 1.5 years old. She's called Gigi and she looks lovely. The owner's putting her up for sale. He's going on to something bigger, so that means it's an opportunity for someone else to own this great little trailer sailor. Taking a look at her top side to start with, she looks super clean, not a scratch on her. As you can see, the top sides are relatively high. She's got a high freeboard, which makes for a lovely dry ride when you're out at sea. As you can see, also in the back of the top side, there's a couple of extra windows that have been put in as optional extras. I'll come on to those later, but they give lots of extra light down below. She's got a fine entry point. And an extra window amidships here as well as obviously the ones in the coach roof. Taking a look at the cockpit now. Gigi is fitted with pretty much all the optional extras you can get. It's got a spray hood look to keep for those coastal passages when things get a bit rough and wet. Keep the crew nice and dry. It's got rear backrests for extra comfort in the cockpit. Some cushions make it nice and soft to sit on. And taking another look into the cockpit now with the vinyl seats removed. As you can see, you've got lovely synthetic teak looking covering. Gigi's been fitted with lots of sail control opportunities. So what you've got here is a stack pack laser jack system for short-handed sailing, make that reefing that much easier. She's got 2 reefs. It's got backstay tensioner, which get you plenty of bend in the mast. Looking under the spray hood, all the lines come straight back to the cockpit, so reefing, etc. is all done very easily from the safety of that cockpit space. You've got fractional rig, and of course a roller jib reefing system, which makes that, again, that reefing through the cockpit, from the cockpit, very simple. This little boat's also got an anchor locker, which I'll come back to in a minute, and a forehatch to give you ventilation down below. Gigi has an e-propulsion Spirit 1 outboard, which is currently its up position. That's the recharging outboard. For anybody who doesn't know these engines, that basically means it recharges when the propeller is left in the water and you're sailing along. You can recharge your battery. This particular outboard comes with a couple of spare batteries and of course a charger to charge it up after each outing. In addition to the e-propulsion outboard, Gigi also has an Autohelm ST1000 tiller pilot, which makes short-handed sailing all the easier. You just leave the tiller, do something else, reef or whatever you're doing, without having to worry that the boat's going to go astray. Or of course, get you helping you along on those long passages if you're short-handed. As well as the autopilot, Gigi also has a compass and a Raymarine log and depth. As promised, here is the anchor locker. It's got a 7 kilo CQR anchor with chain and warp to get on and off the boat when you're in the water, whether by accident or by design. You've got a stainless steel bathing ladder, but also of course you've got some fairly substantial metalwork around the back. This one's got a mast support post, which also doubles up as obviously the horseshoe life buoy bracket, and to these you can see the guardrails are extended across the back. Means nobody's going to go over the back on this open transom boat, and of course the bracket itself gives you something to hold on to whilst you're doing something on the stern. And attached to the metal tiller are 2 cleats which house the lines, bring the rudder up. So basically the rudder can be raised right out of the water. There you go. Means that you don't need to anti-foul the rudder. And of course, if you're lifting out on the trailer, or of course if you want to go for a swim and beach the boat, the rudder's not going to get damaged. What makes these little Viko S21s stand out from many of their peers in the 21-foot sailing trailer sailor category is that they've got oodles of room down below. Pretty much stand up down there. You've got a V berth up at the bow, 2 saloon berths, relatively short ones for kids perhaps. You've got a table amidships, a galley. Pretty unusual to have a heads compartment on a 21 footer, but this Viko seemed to have managed it. Accessible through this little door. You've actually got a marine heads, again unusual for a boat this size, and plenty of room to hang either things like life jackets or of course your wet weather gear. In the back of the boat you've got an enormous double bed which goes across the back. You can actually lift these little steps out of the way so you can get in and out of it much easier, and of course if the steps are out of the way it means you can move around this whole area in front of the galley much better as well, especially at night when you don't need to get it back out into the cockpit, for example. The rear bed has also got a well placed window just above it. That means it becomes an awful lot less claustrophobic compared to some berths like that are structured this way. It makes for a much more pleasant experience in the back of the boat. Gigi's table is a lift top affair, which also functions as the housing for the keel. This boat's got a 450 kilo bulb keel, lifting bulb keel. So these are the lines that lift it. They're winched up. The keel is winched up through a winch on the coach roof. Obviously, once the keel is down, and then this little plank can be placed here, so that basically you've got a full dining area which can seat 4 to 6 people, I would say. What you've also got behind the cushions here, it's got lots of extra space just to put extra things like, well, in this case, charts or sunglasses. All the little things that would otherwise clutter up your boat can be hidden away behind the cushions. Looking a bit more closely at the galley, so you've got a little bit of storage above the galley with mug racks on either side. You've got a sink with electric pump to provide water, and then you've got some storage down below. Also up here is your switch panel together with the 240-volt socket. This boat has shore power, and the shore power can be used to charge the leisure battery in the back, but also to hook straight up to a 240-volt system which can run anything that you need to, like laptops. So that concludes our tour of Gigi. If you'd like to see her in the flesh, then by all means get in touch with us at Boats on Wheels. We look forward to taking you to see her.